Queenslander renovation. So we have spent the last year basically in construction, which is really tiring. It's very boring, and I am ready to make this house a home. So today we're going to be focusing on the pantry, and I'm going to share with you how I'm going to design it in SketchUp Pro. So let's get started. Before I design any room, there's a few things I do first. So first of all, especially for a pantry, I sat down and I wrote out a list of all of the things that I wanted to store in the pantry. So all of the small appliances, all of I want to have a baking station, I want to have a coffee station, all of the things that I want to have in there. I created a list so that I could start to compartmentalize the room and determine the best way forward as far as storage goes. And once I had that, I then measured the room because we have it framed out now. The flooring is in place. And once I had those measurements, then I was able to plug it into SketchUp Pro. So once in SketchUp Pro, I basically created the room. I just did 3 walls because it's just easier to view. And the front wall, which I've removed in the picture, is actually just a flat wall. There's no cabinets on that wall. It's just going to have some hooks for storage and those sorts of things, and maybe a calendar and whatnot. So really the most important detail is in the those 3 walls. And because we're going to be building this ourselves, we really needed to make sure that we had a really clear and consistent design, and it was accurate to scale so that we can go ahead and order materials and build it. I also wanted to have a look and see what the color was going to look like. I've picked a really pretty Dulux color for this project, and I just wanted to see it all come together. So the first thing I'm going to do in SketchUp Pro is I use my tape measure tool to measure out exactly the height, depth of the cabinets, and then also look at things like and if it's drawers, those sorts of things. So I always start with the tape measure, and then I go ahead and create rectangles and create the actual space, pull it all out of the wall, and continue to build on that. Once the drawing is in SketchUp Pro, it gives me an opportunity to basically sleep on it. I can have a look, I can see what works, what doesn't work, make sure all of the things I want in the pantry are included. I designed this so that there are some extra large drawers on the side walls of the pantry for all of the small appliances. Now, the one thing I realized after I drew this all up that I had forgotten was actually the dog food. So we have 3 dogs. We want to have a big roller container with all of the dog biscuits in it. The drawers that I actually put to the left-hand side, I've realized I probably don't need that extra storage, but instead I'm going to create like an open cupboard area where I can have a roller section for the biscuits. That's the beauty of having it all scamped up. Now, I had drawn this a few times, and it wasn't until I actually put this in and saw it as a 3D model that I realized that space was missing. So it does help to have it drawn up, and I guess try it before you pay for it, because it does cost a lot of money to renovate. And so having a clear design in mind is really important. I also wanted to make this a bit of a feature as far as the color goes. I'm going to be using possibly wood for the countertops, so I haven't decided that yet, but I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to be adding some wood shelves just to add some natural elements and break up the blue. Painting the walls, the cabinets, and the ceilings that same color. I want it all to be the one color. I think it's going to be a really cool feature. We'll also be adding some light features in, and a coffee station, which I'm really excited about. Now, the other thing we're adding in here, which is really cool, is this metal bar above the top shelf, and that's really to help us get to those hard to reach places. I want to make sure that this is a really purposeful storage area. It's going to be our main pantry, obviously, for the kitchen. I want to have a minimalist, clean kitchen. So everything we have, I really want to sit in this pantry. And the other thing that we're going to have is this ladder will not stay there. It's not a permanent fixture, as in it's got little clasps on it. It's an antique ladder I found in a secondhand shop. It's absolutely gorgeous. The minute I saw it, I knew that I wanted to use it in the pantry. So it was like perfect. And it does have hooks on the top of it. So I'll hook it onto the bar, use it when I need it, and then hang it on that flat wall. It's not going to get in the way of everyday use in the pantry, and it's going to really help us get to those hard to use places, and also to create some additional storage. I need to think about storage containers, cereals, spices, those sorts of things. We're also going to be creating some really fun storage solutions for the drawer section. So if you love, everything to do with home, then make sure you hit subscribe. I can't wait to share more with you as we continue on with our home renovation.